Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I don't know if the sound's gonna be great or not, but anyway, today is my 1 year anniversary of officially coming out of the closet as bisexual. Yep, it was on this day, December 26th, 2012, that I came out to my mother. It was very scary for me. Now, to give you a little history, I had been thinking about this for years. Okay, actually, I was really serious about it for 3 years, and I tested the waters like crazy for 3 years with all of my friends. Everybody watching this that I've talked to in the last 3 years, you were part of that test. Okay, some of you had said things that just totally made me want to just not come out of the closet, but I had to do this because I had to be honest, and I really feel good that I was honest about this. Anyway, so when I told my mom we were going to, we're actually coming back from going to the credit union because I need her to sign for a loan. I wanted to get a car because my other car had broken down like the month of May earlier, and it was on the way back, and she was going back out of town, and she stopped the car, and I was about to get out, and I'm like, Mom, I need to tell you something. She goes, what is it? And I said, I'm bisexual. She's like, oh. And she said that she still loved me, and I told her that's what I needed to hear. And she did say, is this a phase that people are going through lately? And I'm like, Mom, this isn't a phase. This is something that I've always known, and I just want to be open about it now. Because if I do decide to get married to a woman, I want her to know. You know, I don't want that to be a lie. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that later on in the video, about why that's important to me. So I told my mom, and then I can't remember who I told next, but I wanted to tell my brother next, and I didn't get that chance because he's really busy. My twin brother, by the way, who is straight. I tried to get a hold of him a couple times, but I ended up telling my sister over Skype and my little brother over Skype. And my sister actually thought I was gay, which is okay because, I mean, it's the same thing. You're bisexual, you love men. You're gay, you love men. So I wasn't too offended about that. I told my aunt over Skype too, and she actually thought I was bisexual because of something I had said a couple weeks earlier. So that was pretty cool. But my mom had no idea at all, and I thought, your moms are supposed to know this. Anyway, I told my roommate, and that was really hard too, and he was really okay with it. He was surprisingly okay with it. And it's funny because he comes from, you know, the streets of the East Coast, and they're all tough guys out there, and he's come a long way, evidently, so he says, and he was very okay with that. And I called my brother to tell him to come over because I need to return something, or I can't remember the excuse I gave, but my friend came with us home. And I'm like, I have to tell my friend before I tell my brother, because if he hears me telling my brother, that would, like, I don't know, I just felt like I had to tell my friend really quick, so I told him really quick. He's like, you're joking. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. And my roommate's like, no, he's serious. It's like, really? He's like, oh, wow. And he would always talk about his cousin coming out, and how if anybody ever wanted to come out, he'd be accepting of them. And I thought he was, like, trying to get me to come out. I thought a lot of people were over the years, but a lot of these people told me they had no idea. So anyway, I told my brother. My brother came over. I told him, and he told me that he still loves me. And he's like, I'm not bisexual. He's like, I'm straight. And I'm like, that's awesome, you know, that he told me his sexuality too. But there will come a time that it won't really matter. You know, people will just date who they want to date, and they won't have to come out and say, this is what I prefer. That would be the perfect society, really. I don't particularly like the term bisexual. I think there's a lot of negativity that comes along with it. I like the word ambisexual, but I prefer fluid sexually, you know. I can't remember what I was going to say. Okay, so I told everybody in my immediate family. And then I announced on Facebook to everyone else, my extended family, my friends. Everybody's been supportive. I've hung out with a lot of different friends over the last year. I've been invited to things with my extended family over the last year that I couldn't go to because they were on weekdays. I would have liked to, but so everybody's been pretty supportive. If anyone hasn't been supportive, I wouldn't know. But I actually haven't seen my extended family in over a year, so I sometimes wonder. But I came out at work. I told my department that I work in. Everybody was okay with it. When my boss said, she's like, I don't have to sleep with you. So it doesn't matter to me. Just joking. And only one person kind of freaked out about it, and she was a really religious lady there. And she actually said that it's sick and that I'm sick. And I said, you know what? I'm not sick. And don't ever say that to my face again. And she kind of came around throughout the day. She kind of realized like what she said to me and how offensive that was. And people need to realize that this isn't something abnormal. This is something totally normal. You know, I actually find it weird that people are straight, and I find it weird that people are gay. I don't understand how you can just love one gender. I don't specifically love everybody in a sexual way. I'm not attracted to everybody. I think people get the idea that that means I want to have three-ways and orgies and stuff like that, and that's far from the case. I really don't have any desire to be in a relationship with several different people at the same time, and that's fine for people. If they want to do that, that's okay. There's polyamorous relationships throughout history, and that's okay. But that's not me. That's not something I would be comfortable with. So I officially came out last year. Unofficially, I came out 13 years ago. I came out to one of my ex-girlfriends. I had thought about it since, you know, I knew when I was like 18 years old that I would have to come out one day. I knew since I was a small child that I liked both boys and girls, and that never stopped. All throughout high school, I had crushes on many guys and many girls. It's just how I was, and I figured everybody was like that, but nobody ever talked about it like that. So it was kind of uncomfortable for me, and it wasn't something that I ever wanted to say to anybody. But I just kind of assumed everybody was like that. We just didn't talk about it. So my ex-girlfriend overheard me talking to a guy on the phone, and it turns out she didn't know I was talking to a guy in a romantic way, and I ended up coming out to her anyway. And my ex-girlfriend is bisexual also, and she really, really likes Angelina Jolie, and I had to explain to her. I told her, okay, I had this huge crush on this guy, Ben Browder from Farscape. And I go, you know how Angelina Jolie makes you feel? Well, Ben Browder makes me feel the same way. That's how I explained it to her. And she was totally cool with it. And we ended up telling like some of our close friends, and so a bunch of people knew. And then I started becoming sexually active. And this was when I was 25. And some people said that I was just acting out, and that it was because my dad